Tonight's show, we're going to cover 666 stats and stories. Say that three times fast. The final run of events of 2024 are kind of upon us, dude. We're going to talk about some of the upcoming events over the next 2 or 3 weeks, and we're going to look at some co-pilot photos for the Mahle Motorsports co-pilot segment. So let's kick this thing off, dude.
All right, let's do it.
We're gonna pack things up and hit the road and try to make it the next day.
All right, guys, welcome to the Drag Driver Pete Show, episode 85. Again, my name is Mike Narks. I am the host of this show and the news that happens on Saturday mornings. And my right hand man, different spot here today, dude. You are literally on my right today. I think we need to keep this up. Mr. Eric, introduce yourself. Tell them what you got going on, dude.
I am Eric White. I am the co-host of both the show and the news. Right now, I am still, and this people are probably tired of hearing it. I am still working through Hot Rod Drag Week photos. I am just about done with day 3 photos, like all
Wow.
of day 3. So the last photos of day 2 went up just earlier tonight. So that was the route stops, the way I've been posting them is kind of breaking the track photos down into 3 or 4 buckets so that you don't get blasted with 800 photos at once. So
Yep.
dropping those every 200-ish photos and then doing an album of rollers and an album from route stop. So the end is coming near. I know a lot of people have asked about buying photos and stuff, but a lot of people are kind of holding off until they see all of the photos. So day 3 is just about done. I'm going to start releasing them tomorrow, and then I will be starting to work on day 4, and hopefully soon I will be able to get all them finished.
Hey,
Appreciate everybody's patience on that. It's 10,000 photos was not what I expected, and it's definitely been a learning opportunity for me. That is probably too many photos to take for an event. Just saying,
well,
especially somebody that has a full-time job and I can't come home
mm,
and just edit for a week straight and get them all
yep.
done.
Well, and part of one of the ones that I've seen is like early on, you were keeping like one of a segment of shots, and now there's like two or three within that shot that you're catching, So I think your eyes getting better, you know what I mean? Like as far as like in the level of keep that you're editing down. So, dude, bring it on, man. We don't care if it takes a year. Just just keep hammering away. And if you run into something else, hey, I'm sure there's going to be another event coming up. PR that we'll have plenty of photos from as well.
Yeah, I tell you what though, there are some great shots on day 3 from the hot dog place. I was editing today, and those photos, I'm super excited to release them because there is a lot of really good photos there.
So later in the show, I'll kick back to kind of same type of stuff. Eric's editing photos. I'm over here putting videos together. There are, dude, I think I took 600 videos from 666, and there's a lot of fun stuff in that. And I'm going to start, I'm going to do it different. I'm going to like bundle interviews and conversations and passes per person because I think it may be easier for me. I really don't know what we're going to do about it, to be honest. That many videos is really tough. So during the event, I tried to put some together and kind of burnouts and things like that, but it got to be too tough, man. We're covering too many miles. So, anyways, that's coming over the next few, I would say, weeks as well. I'm not going to hurt myself to get those done. So, anyways, well, the one thing that makes all that stuff easier is you know what it is? It's race car friends, dude. I don't know if
You
you know this
guys
or not.
up
Yeah.
here.
Like race car friends out there watching, commenting, the comment section on the photos through the roof, man. It's awesome to look at the analytics and see how many people are involved in this and making a part of the whole process, because I know that's rewarding to you on your side when people get tagged or say that's a great photo or, share it, all that kind of stuff. Like that helps kind of keep that motivation high because now that you're about 4,382 photos through, I would imagine it's getting pretty not monotonous, but man, you're like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, for sure.
So we certainly appreciate that, and we appreciate all of our race car friends that are out there that are just sending good vibes, man. Just sending the good stuff that's out there. The wiggly fingers. All right, and thank you so much to our sponsors, Summit Racing. I can't wait to hang out with those guys again. We had a good time on Drag Week with those guys. Mahle Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, who I just got to hang out with all week. Car Chains 3D, WAF Racing, Performer Built Transmissions, J Wire Solutions, Howard's Cam, Sweet Patina, Power Tube TV, and Racing Junk Classifieds. And we have something fun coming up at PRI with Racing Junk that I haven't even told Eric about, but we're going to do something fun with them one morning. And PRI is going to be a lot of fun. I'm telling you right
Yes,
now.
it is.
It's going to
It
be a
always, yeah, it's always fun, and it's, I say it every year, but it's probably one of my favorite events, especially when, we're not at an actual drag and drive. It's December, like getting to hang out with everybody. It's fun, but man, is it busy.
Well, and one thing that Ellen Eschenbacher said when I was at Midwest Drag Race Series last week, she said PRI is so much fun because you don't have like it's the biggest race of the year without racing. So you get to
Right.
like hang out and spend time with your friends and kind of do all of that fun stuff. So we're gonna do it.
Yeah. Jack Brooks here saying he got his photos from me, which is awesome. Love them. Thanks. Although y'all need a second shift road driving photo crew. I never drive in the daylight. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
that's for sure. Yeah, I don't know how the rollers come out at night. We haven't tried that yet many times, so we need to
No.
work on that maybe. Maybe Jack Brooks will be our guinea pig at sick week.
There we go.
Yeah, Pat Cook saying he can't wait for PRI. I agree. Well, man, let's get on with the show here. We are going to do a little shorter show tonight. We're going to be right at an hour for tonight, just because Eric and I are both just wiped out. I haven't recovered from 9 days on the road yet, so let's talk about Summit Racing. Summit Racing's speed legacy began in 1968 as a one-man startup and is now the world's speed shop. With 4 facilities and 200 plus catalog editions, they fuel your passion, they save you money, they deliver fast, and offer top-notch customer service for more than 1,500 brands. Make sure to download the Summit Racing mobile app for easy access to speed parts. Find them on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. You can also find them on the On All Cylinders podcast, and they're in like season 8 or something crazy right now. And they just have been releasing podcasts the last couple of days. So I've been enjoying those as well. From humble origins to the social media lane, Summit Racing stands by your need for speed. Find everything you need for your daily or hot rod at summitracing.com.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. They posted up a super cool post yesterday. Says, what's the longest you've owned a car? Rick M here, the photo in this says proudly owned this beauty for 47 years. 47 years. So man, I got to thinking, like, dang, how long have I had the old truck? Um, I've had it realistically since I was 14. It was mine when I turned 16. Well, that's 27 years ago that I turned
Wow.
16. So when people start talking about they've had their car 20 years, they've had them, 30 years, I'm like, man, you start kind of doing the math and realizing how old I am. So, that's a hard one. That's a really tough one. So let's talk about you, sir. How long have you had your project cars? Or
Uh,
cars? I mean, you may have something that you daily drive longer than that.
yeah, no, I haven't. I don't keep anything typically long enough. But the first car I bought myself when I was in high school was a Honda Civic. I had that for a long time. It's probably about equal to what I've had the 240 for now, which is it was 13 years in August when I bought that. So it's came a long way in 13 years. It was definitely not LS swapped then, so
Yeah.
so that one is probably right now about the longest, somewhere around 13 years, which is crazy for me. Especially I've owned 30 something vehicles in
Oh
my
my gosh.
lifetime. So
Dude, I think
I,
I think I don't know if I don't know. It's probably 20 for me, maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe 50.
I have a list somewhere where I wrote them all down one time. It was a lot.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, big shout out to Jamie Mackey here saying Summit saved us on 66. That's awesome to hear. And then I saw Mr. Keith Haney in here saying should be all about Midwest Drag Race Series. Well, Mr. Haney, we are going to be doing a season ending recap. Eric and I probably won't. Eric's going to be there because he's got to help me. But the season ending recap with Luke Clevenger and probably Justin Dorfler and Ellen and all those guys are going to be on because, man, there's a ton that happened in that whole series, and races come down to literally the last race of the season to get to lock up championships and lock up podium finishes within the championship and all that kind of stuff. So, this is Dragon Drive related. We're going to do a full on Midwest recap as well.
There you go.
Wow, Pat Cook. The only thing I've had that long is my RC51. 15 years this winter. That's awesome. Well, this guy here, you guys may recognize from the banner on the front window there. You see that? Chris Weigert has owned this Pontiac for 42 years.
That's incredible.
Crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. I love that story right there. And then this Dan Carlisle, I like this photo too. Again, I pulled this right from the post. Dan Carlisle has had his Chevelle for or wait, is that a Chevelle? No, it's GTO, isn't it? Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, for 42 years as well. I like the before and after photo or the past and present photo. That was kind of cool, I thought.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yep.
And 42 years is a long time.
Oh, that's a long time. That's almost as long as I've been alive.
That's longer than me.
Yeah, longer than you. Well, as it cools down, guys, you got to remember, jump over to Summit Racing, grab your Drag Drive Repeat hoodie, get over there, get that picked up. I mean, you can throw this in with the parts you're already ordering, and it just slides right onto that card, and your wife never knows that you ordered her a hoodie because
Yeah.
that's what happens. I always order 2 hoodies when I order one because somebody's going to end up with mine in my house.
Yeah, it's definitely hoodie season, especially around here. It's starting to get those mornings on my way to work are not very friendly, so you need to get them hoodies.
And hey, sometimes you're going to end up in a car and have to use it as a pillow, which is what I had to do on 666 because the first night I didn't have a pillow and used a shoe and a pair of pants and all wrapped up in a hoodie, and that gave me the needed cushion to get some sleep.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh man, Aaron Roberts. If Keith takes the Black Mamba on the circuit and completes it, the show should be about Midwest Drag Race Series. If Keith Haney will take that Black Mamba on the street out front of Tulsa, I'll talk about it on here. Just drive that thing down the street. Those cars they're not street cars anymore. They're push to the lanes, make their pass, push back to the pits. Somebody told me one time drag racing is the only hobby that you spend as much money as humanly possible to enjoy it the least amount.
Yeah.
You're just always going faster. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, let's talk about let's talk about the circuit 2025, dude.
Yeah, that's coming up soon. We've been hammering posts.
Yeah, it's you've been doing a great job. All the posts that have been happening over on the circuit, a charity with horsepower, Eric has been taking care of. So I appreciate that. Being that I was out and about, man, it was tough. So I have been working on some behind the scenes stuff. I've been getting all the tickets built and the event built and everything on the Foat. That's where we're going to do the sign up for all the tickets and stuff. So I've been building out all of that the last 2 days. That's taken more time than I thought. I did not remember it taking that much time last year, but maybe I was just really excited about it. So I want to talk about some of the fun things that have come about in the last few days. If you guys were watching the Jesse Fox and Michael Nark's Drag Drive Repeat, I don't know, surprise live stream yesterday or the day before, I was talking about camping and like how I feel campers kind of get a short end of the stick, right? So I pulled into, I want to say Amarillo, and then I pulled into maybe it was Ozark. I can't remember, but both nights everybody was in their tents by 10 o'clock.
What?
This is boring. This is really boring. So it made me kind of think about some fun stuff that we could do on the circuit. So I want to give a big shout out. Robert Voss commented in there, said, "Hey, I'm your Huckleberry." And so he's going to be our camp counselor for the circuit 2025. This means that he's going to basically set up a fire pit. He's kind of like the guy to go to if you have questions about the tracks, if you're camping. Tulsa has showers and bathrooms. He can kind of show you where those are, all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, I just want those folks to kind of have the parking lot beers experience that people get at hotels and motels. Now, Eric and I are going to be staying at the hotels because we've got to get those shots. That's the key part of all of that. And then, but Robert's going to be at the track, so I'm going to take care of him monetarily and supply wise. So he's going to be able to tell me, hey, we need more Dr. Peppers or we need more road sodas down here at the thing, and we're gonna get those to him. So again, we're going to camp Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night there at Tulsa and at Mocam both. And I hope this means that people will kind of hang out a little bit. We're going to buy a bunch of like camping chairs or fold out chairs in some way. Like he's not racing in the circuit, which breaks his heart, I know, but we're going to have this fun. We're going to have this as a lot more fun for the campers because I feel like maybe they don't feel like they can talk to each other or something. I don't know. Nobody was talking to each other. And I was like, this blows. And I don't want it to blow, dadgummit. So I saw Jamie Mackey making the comment there about the teardrop and her sweet wagon. Yes, loved following along with that all week at 666. This is one of the coolest setups that's out there too. Just the teardrop, the way it looks, the way they have it all set up and everything. And then just, to be able to camp and really the camping side of stuff for me is fun as long as there was like somebody going to be out and about kind of talking, and there really never was on 666. And I know everybody's tired, but if you pull in the parking lot and there's 20 people standing out there kind of having a beer, I mean, obviously we're not condoning you drinking. If you don't drink, do whatever you want, but like it gives you a reason to go walk around and talk to folks, makes it more inviting. So I'm hoping this fire pit idea kind of does that. And
Yeah.
Robert Voss is the coolest dude that's out there right now. So I love him. He's awesome. Got to hang out with him and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
then,
I like that idea.
yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And, again, one more reason that the circuit's going to be the best regional event that I can put on. We're just going to do it as hard and as best as we can. The stuff we see that we can control, we're going to control it, and we're going to try and take care of everybody. So, well, let's talk about registration because it opens next weekend.
Yes.
Dude. And I'm anxious, to be honest with you. This is a big deal. We're growing obviously exponentially. We're growing by 30%. We're going from 150 to 200 race cars, which is larger than I ever thought this thing would be. So I appreciate everybody that's out there. This is a big deal. So the way this is going to work is the people that are returning racers and their co-pilots. So here's the thing. Your co-pilot doesn't necessarily have to submit an email to me to be on this. Like I'm going to, if you are a returning racer, you're going to get one. And then you're going to be able to share that with your co-pilot that was your designated co-pilot from 2024. Okay. So if they don't get the email, you can give it to them, but it will be verified that they were at the event in 2024. We have all the names, we have all the sizes, all that kind of stuff. That is also getting a discount. Okay. It's a $50 discount, which is a huge deal. Nobody does this that I know of. So we give discounts to returning racers because, again, like I said on the Jesse live stream the other day, and I've said in the past, Rocky Mountain Race Week has one of the best communities of people that are out there simply because it is the same folks year after year. So they know what to do. You can ask you can ask racers that have been there before what to do, and they'll typically be able to answer it for you instead of having to find me every time. Right. Early. So that's October 31st. That's next Friday morning, Thursday, Friday, whatever October 31st is. In the morning, 8 a.m. You will have 24 hours to sign up. Now, this ticket will never go away to returning racers. So if you need to wait to sign up, like say maybe you just got back off of 666 and you need to kind of put some money back in your pocket for a minute before you sign back up, you can do that unless we're sold out. That's going to be the key thing. So you've got to, I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but if you get on the wait list and a spot opens up, you'll still get the discounted rate if you raced with us in 2024. Okay. Well, I see Pat Cook says the 31st is Halloween. Yes, I don't know what day of the week that is though, but it's going to
Thursday.
start at 8 a.m. Nobody's going to be trick or treating at 8 a.m. So hopefully they'll be signing up here. The early listers, you can do that by submitting your contact information at thecircuitdnd.com. November 1st at 8 a.m., 24 hours open there for early listers. And then public registration Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Sorry, all these times are central, 8 a.m. central until it's sold out. And the early listers and the public registration is 300 each.
Reggie saying that would be Thursday, and that's when we head out for SEMA and beyond.
Nice. You can do it from the road, man. He'd be cruising that the organ grinder. Ah!
Yeah,
That's
it's
awesome. That'd
nice.
be fun.
It's nice because you got a 24-hour window there. So no matter,
Yeah.
whatever you're doing, you got a 24-hour window to do it. So I like
Yeah.
that idea.
And the returning racers, I can't imagine a way that we would fill 200 spots with returning racers and their co-pilots. I mean, I know we had 158 people last year, 151 people last year, and then, but surely less than 50 people will, those 50 people will still want to be co-pilots and not race their own car. But who knows? I don't know. Well, I may be surprised here. And then VIP Tech, like Brandon Parker is asking here, 60 car limit. This is going to be on Thursday, April 3rd. You will sign up. This will open at the same time registration is going to open up. And again, this is 60 cars on Thursday to try and help that Friday morning tech nightmare that we had this last year. Okay. 60 cars. I don't want to do any more than that just simply because it's going to be too hard to mess with that. $50 that is donated directly to the charity. I'm still working with the charities trying to figure out which one we're going to do, but VIP Tech will be signed up on the same day. Waitlisters last year, no, you had to be a racer last year to get on. Now you'll still be on the early list because I have your email, but you're going to get that early list email as well. So the people that registered last year and didn't show up, you're going to be lumped into that early lister opportunity as well. So let everybody chew on that for a minute. So the VIP Tech, I think, is going to be really fun. Again, we're running the pre-party just like we did last year. On Thursday night, we're going to find us a spot that can handle 300 or 400 people, and we're going to we're going to hang out in the parking lot. And then I figure if we do noon to 4 for VIP Tech, VIP Tech and registration, that will really help kind of knock a lot of that out, and then we can all go eat dinner and all that kind of stuff together. One thing I didn't put on the notes is Friday night. Don Cottle mentioned this to me the other day too. He said, "Why don't we do Chicken Annie's on Friday night after we get done racing? So we'll race Friday at Tulsa, drive to Joplin. So he's like, we can just do dinner at Joplin or do dinner at Chicken Annie's in Pittsburgh on Friday night. So I think that's a pretty good idea. I'm working on, is it better to do a buffet style there, or is it better to just let everybody kind of show up how they want to? So we'll see how that goes. My current thoughts are about 60 days before the event, we'll put up a poll. Hey, who wants to come? If we have 100 people say they want to come to Chicken Annie's, maybe we do a buffet style. They would purchase a ticket ahead of time right here, on the phone or on the website or something like that. And then that way it's easy. You just walk in with your ticket and it's all taken care of. So I don't know. We'll see.
Lots of things to consider for sure.
Oh man, I'm telling you, yeah, best event that's out there. All right, we got to
But
get to work, dude. We talked,
but
man.
but can we do a circuit without Chicken Annie's? I
I
feel
don't
like
know.
we almost have to.
I mean, if the hotel's in Pittsburgh, it's like 15 minutes down the road.
Right.
So I would feel bad if we didn't because they were so good to us last year.
Yeah.
So I think that's definitely the plan. Again, it goes back to, do we want to do a buffet style, or do we want to, everybody pay their own ticket and work with that brain damage, or do we want to just everybody come in and
Yeah.
do
I
I
feel
think
like the
100.
buffet style would be best, and
Yep.
just get that price and do a pre-order ticket, and I think
Yep.
that's the way to go.
Yep, I think so too. Just now I've set all that up. All the fun stuff that goes along there. All right, man. Well, I've been talking a bunch. Let's talk about some Driven Racing Oil event updates.
All right. Driven Racing Oil is the performance engine oil that can do it all. GP1 is the ultimate oil for any race or performance application, whether launching hard at the drag strip, enduring the extreme heat of off road and circle track, or pushing limits in a top fuel drag boat and demo derby. Winning racers choose GP1. Compatible with engines from classic hot rods to cutting edge race machines, GP1's unique surface cling and high zinc formulation ensures superior wear protection, particularly for flat tappet camshafts, while solving issues like cylinder washout with methanol and ethanol fuels. Crafted from the legendary Bradford, Pennsylvania base oil, then enhanced with state of the art additive packages, GP1 offers the best in protection and performance. And as always, you guys can check them out on Facebook and Instagram at Driven Racing Oil, or you can head over to drivenracingoil.com and pick up some oil, pick up some swag. They just dropped some new Driven Racing Oil hoodies that look pretty awesome. So head over to Driven Racing Oil for all of that.
Oh yeah, that is for sure. And I want to give a big shout out to the Driven Racing Oil team. Robin and Ashley and Bill, thank you for putting up with me all last week. There were some moments of why is this dude in our pits? And then there were some moments like, man, we sure are glad he's here. So it was a great week. We had a great time. I'm sad though, Bill never jumped on the mic with me and we didn't get to dive deep into some stuff. But man, one of the coolest things, absolutely coolest things could have ever happened. I had Keith Turk sitting down with me just
Saw
on a
that.
yeah, he was just kind of hanging out. I was like, man, here, jump on the mic with me. Or Bill was like, hey, get on the mic with him. So we were talking, and then Steve Atwell walked up, and Keith and Steve were talking, and I had to plug the computer in. So I handed Steve the mic and said, dude, y'all talk. And they talked for like 30 minutes. It was so cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was one of the coolest, just one of the coolest experiences ever to have, Keith, who's been around obviously since the beginning, and then Steve Atwell, who's been around since the beginning, to sit there and talk and tell stories and all the fun stuff that they had there. Well, let's talk about 666. It's over. People are home. Everybody's sad. The sick Dragon Drive hangover is still there. It's wild. We're going to talk about a bunch of stats and stuff in the Howard's Cam segment. I got some videos we're going to play from some of the interviews and stuff I did with folks down there. But the Hard S1000 is going on right now. Dude, I feel bad we didn't talk about it last week because we weren't on because I was so busy and you were busy. And but the Hard S1000 is in its like final day. I think it ends tomorrow.
Yeah.
Sadly. So if you're not following that, you can follow Haul Ass Garage and jump on there and see all the stuff that's been going on. Dude, it's typical Dragon Drive shenanigans, but like up one level. I mean, these dudes are in costumes. They're working on stuff on the side of the road in like a Beetlejuice black and white striped suit. It's one of the looks like one of the most fun things you can have out there.
For sure.
We got to do that one year. And this is obviously their second one of the season to do there in Australia.
Yep. And then another event that's coming up. This is a brand new event, just got rolled out here, I don't know, a couple weeks to a month ago. This is Plates and 28s, which is hosted by Bill Hoskinson of the Old Man Garage. And this is happening at Edgewater Motorsports Park. So he says if the rules weren't enough to keep the full blown race cars out of the streetcar classes, the sick day crews certainly will. Any classes with street in the class name is required to make a 2 to 3 hour cruise from the track to downtown Cincinnati and destinations in northern Kentucky and southeastern Indiana before finally returning back to the track on Saturday afternoon. So definitely, it's kind of a no prep ish like event, and then they've got the Dragon Drive portion of it tied into the event. So definitely cool. Hopefully this is a successful event, and I think these guys know plenty about racing that they should be able to put together a pretty good event. So
yeah, and they were at Sick Week this year. The kid raced like a 55 or 56 car, and then the dad, Bill, drove around, followed along with the week. So that was kind of fun to see that happening. And I think this is just an extension of that. They know drag racing, obviously. Now how do they make that one next level? So I think this is going to be fun to watch this kind of culminate because again, we're seeing a lot of single day events popping up over the next, we will see a lot of single day events popping up over the next few years. And we look at, 50, 70, 80 miles, something like that. It's about the minimum of what we would consider like legit for to call yourself a drag and drive. I know we don't make those rules, but like that's kind of where we decide if, hey, we're going to follow that or not. Because there's some events that call themselves the drag and drive that's 10 miles, and that's not it. So,
Yeah.
yeah, this one here is going to be cool because there's going to be some really fast cars. And I think once people in fast cars, just like Back to the Streets does, there's folks that see all of that stuff and then they go, oh man, I want to get in on some of that. I want to drive my car on the street. If that car survived, mine will survive. And that's how we just continue to grow the community.
Yeah, and I think blending the no prep and the drag and drive stuff is definitely gonna. I feel like there's gonna be an uptick in that kind of
Yeah.
combining in the next few years because, again, those are street cars too most of the time. So
Yeah.
so why not jump in and do the cruise and be part of the drag and drive? Enjoy that car, drive it.
Yep. Yep. That's exactly right. All right. Well, let's talk about the next national event that's happening starting this weekend or next week. Starting next week. The next national event, Street Machine Drag Challenge, which we haven't talked about very much in Australia. One of their 7 events or 8 events that are happening in that country this year. It's the 10th running of this event, dude. Been going on a
Wow.
long time since like 2014. They're doing rods out, burnout shows. 2 of the days sounds super cool. We need a little bit of that here in the states. 950 miles, and you can kind of see the area of the country there in the photo that I did up on Google Maps today. You're
Yeah.
welcome. Yeah. So there will be a mix of eighth mile and quarter mile tracks for the drag challenge. So they are going to run an average, which helps me greatly because then I don't have to do that math, right? So they're converting the eighth mile to quarter mile time using a multiple of 1.555 for the 2 days of eighth mile racing. So if you run a 7.0, they will multiply that times 1.555 to give you your quarter mile time, which is similar to what we did this last year at the circuit running quarter mile at Mocan and eighth mile at Ozark. So a lot of similarities there. Just obviously they have 5 days of racing over there compared to our 3, but then they'll do the 2 days of eighth mile to quarter mile conversion, which is super cool. And
Yes.
then,
Yes.
yeah, so that's one of the last national events of the year. Oh, hey, and then the same weekend that ends. Yeah, I'll let you do this one.
Yep. As the Street Machine Drag Challenge is ending, we'll have the Central Georgia Battle of the Streets taking place. This is a single day event happening on November 2nd. It's got a 70-ish mile drag or 70-ish mile drive and then heads up racing. They are adding classes. So there's the 3 pedal, which obviously is going to be your stick shift class, a Super Street, Hot Rod 2.0, and Pro Street, and a Brian Musselwhite Memorial Truck class. So definitely kind of cool there. We're going to see a lot more, like you mentioned, these single day events popping up. So I like that they're adding that 70-ish mile drive in there. So that's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah, and this one I messaged Mike. Mike Mayo's the promoter for this one. I messaged him earlier today, like, "Hey, tell me again how many miles you've got." And he said it's right around 70, 71, 73, something like that. By the time they do it, they've got a route already picked out. This gonna be really cool, and I'm excited to see events like this grow because again, this is how we bring people into the community.
Absolutely.
And then Southeast Street and Yeet coming up November 7th through 10th. This is the last national event of the year right here. This is the last one. If you need points for your world champion title stuff, this is where you're going to get them. There's some serious eighth mile ETs going to be laid down. This is where the quickest 235 was ran last year. This is where the quickest eighth mile time was ran last year for our Dragon Drive Awards. I mean, this is where guys are going to lay it out. One, because it's the end of the year, but then two, also because the tracks are on kill. Dude, like the prep at these places, just come on a radial. That's what it's built for. That part of the country is built for radials. So
Yeah.
plan on that. And then they have a new class for this year at the suggestion of Scott Montgomery. tailgates and 28s. That's right up his alley. He wants to run some fives in his full size C10 truck on some 28-inch tires. So this ought to be pretty cool to watch it go down. This is breaking news, but I may not be going to Southeast Street and Eat. There's some other stuff going on right around then that I may need to be home for. So we'll see. I don't know. I'll know more about that when we do next week's show.
Yeah, starting to get down there. It's crazy to think that we're almost at the end of the season already. Like, man, feels like we just started and here we are wrapping up almost.
It hasn't let up. The event schedule has been very consistent, and September was just rough, dude. It was so hard having so many events, always talking about something. It's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. All right, let's move on. We'll talk about some J-Wire stuff because our boys at J-Wire Solutions, they're expert car and marine wiring solutions you can trust. J-Wire Solutions can wire and plumb your hot rod, race car, drag and drive car. Plus, they offer products to make your driving experience better, like the blinker module that I still need to order. That is a must for all drag and drive cars. The module will allow your rear turn signals to continue to function while the brake pedal is applied, just like it did when it was stock and you didn't rewire it, with a new aftermarket product there. So they're always adding stuff. Jay is one of the smartest dudes we know. Obviously, we're appreciative of him coming on board and helping and a lot of these products are definitely drag and drive oriented. So this is kind of a neat deal. This is the posting on Facebook says adding electrical demands to your already stressed electrical system. Thinking this winter's upgrades include ignition 1A coils, which are smart coils, a new fuel pump, or maybe even both. Adding the high current relay module to your list of upgrades will surely take the wiring pain out of things. It's brand new on their site and it's limited availability, guys. So jump over there, jwiresolutions.com. This is a neat deal. This is like a high voltage, high current relay that you can basically mount anywhere. So in your Holly, the little green wire for your fuel pump, this would wire right up to that and allow you to have 8 gauge or 6 gauge wire actually power that stuff instead of running your little that 16 gauge or whatever they've got to run it with. You can actually do it with this and make it a lot better. Let it keep the full power that it needs the entire time you're making a pass or making that 1,300-mile street drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So jump over there. Tons of wiring things you can pick up from J-Wire. Love those guys again. And then let's talk about shop art because this almost kind of breaks my heart a little bit, to be honest with you. Yes, that is Project Adam Ant. That is my brother's MG midget that he literally cut the side off of and hung on the wall in his shop.
I gotta say, it looks pretty awesome there, though.
One of the coolest things ever, dude. It's just really, when he said he was going to do this, I couldn't envision it, but man, it looks amazing to sit up there. So big shout out to Wes Evans who helped him on that as well. This is one of the coolest things that he could have done with that car. He tried to sell it for a little bit with the 4-cylinder in it. Nobody wanted the 4. So then he built the gasser out of it. We all saw that. And then now it's not getting built into anything. It's getting turned into wall art, man.
Yeah, I commented on the post. I said, are we going to see Project Narcs Kart 2.0 out of the remainder of it?
Yeah, I doubt it. I think he's already got the axle out. If the axle that's in the floor here at my shop is the axle from that car, then no, we're not going to see that at all. He brought over a 52-inch plate to plate axle the other day, and I think that's what came out of the car.
I tell you what, just package that little thing up, put it on a pallet, ship the remains of it here, and then we'll build a cart out of it here.
Yeah, there you go. I like it.
I got an extra 8.8 sitting around. I got all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, that car was a blast. It really was one of the neatest cars. One on Rocky Mountain and Race Week and stuff like that. But then two, just years and years of building. A lot of the skills that he now has, like roll cage building and all that kind of stuff, he learned from building that car. So it's really cool. I mean, like it's in that 15 years from now when that car is hanging on the shop wall, he's going to be reminded of all that stuff that came from that car.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure one of 815 stickers is on the side there somewhere too.
Probably. He's got a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gonna hit this here? What's something that you collect that you display in the shop? I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so I have I meant to bring one in here with me too, but used to when gas cans were metal, there was a company called Eagle that built cars and I guess gas cans for whatever reason. But I collect they have a brand of gas can called the Gasser. And so my plan is to eventually have somebody paint a gasser on the side of one of those, several of those. I've got like 6 or 8 of them. So if anybody is at a flea market or antique store and sees one, hit me up. If it's not too expensive, I'll send you some money because they're getting pretty rare and they kind of have they're all have the patina now because I think they were probably cheap gas cans back in the day. So that is something that I have and display in the shop, along with uh, Hot Wheels. Hang on, let me pull this banner up here. What's something that you collect?
LS parts is what my garage says, but I got tons of LS parts in the garage. But one thing I have that I think's kind of unique is when I did circle track racing and when I played sports when I was younger, the number I always had was 21. That was just for whatever reason that was a number.
Interesting.
So I was at I don't remember if it was an auction or where I was at, but I found the numbers 21 from an old Rue 21 sign, the old light up
Nice. Yeah,
numbers. So those are hanging up in the garage on top of my cabinets. So it's
that's
kind of
awesome.
one of those unique things that you probably won't see anywhere, but it's just I saw it and I'm like, man, I gotta have that. So I bought it.
That's cool, man.
And in the
That's
shop
cool.
or in the office here, I've got license plates or metal signs in here. So I've got Back to the Streets. I've got my own. I've got Sick the Mag, the 666, Meekum auctions. So those are kind of all hanging up above me.
That's awesome, and I think event tins are a really good way to do that, you know what I mean? Like, that's something else that I usually buy T-shirts, but man, event tins would be really cool because then you could hang those up and, heck, you could write on the back of that thing when it was and all that kinda stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Alright, well, let's talk about some WAF racing stuff, man.
Yeah. So, WAF Racing is a collective of engineers, racers, and hot rod enthusiasts who have come together in one place to create, with passions for racing, hot rodding cars and bikes, both classic and new. You just never know what they might be working on. Creating custom parts, tools, and electrical gadgets is just what they like to do. You never know what this. Yeah, electric group might have up their sleeves. Check them out at waf-racing.com and then check out their social media. They were on 666 as well, weren't they?
Oh yeah, man. I caught up with Chris and Lily most days on 666, and that's one of the first videos I'm working on. What's kind of cool is he's ET limited to 735, and so that was their goal every day, like to try and get there. So him and Rovic, Mike Turner, Rich Guido, they all kind of cruise together throughout the week, which is really neat. They give me an easy update from everybody. Mike is another YouTuber, so he was out kind of getting content and telling stories. He was always open to tell me what's going on with their stories. But uh, Chris finished the week with a 760 average, best pass of a 741, which he did on day one or day two of racing at Mocan. And then the slowest of the week was a 793 at Amarillo, which is pretty crazy because that's where I caught up with him last. And just wait till you see his video about how many time slips he has in his hand. It was a bunch. I messaged him earlier. How many miles did y'all put on the cars? 2,600 miles, dude.
Wow.
Pretty awesome. They drove the cars from Nashville to Springfield to start the event and then drove all the way down Route 66 with 666 and then kind of made their way back through Texas on their way home. Pretty wild, man. It
Yeah.
was pretty wild. And then let's hear this video of him tell on from day 5 here. Chris, what are you doing?
Well, we're trying to figure out how to run our times in the air here in Amarillo, and we've tried a few times and a few things, and then the carburetor kind of started acting up on us a little bit, and I feel like I probably just need to accept what I got since we do have a lot of driving coming up, and that's just how it goes.
Yeah, right. Well, I saw you walk up. I see you using your WAF Racing products here. You got a whole bag full of this cool stuff.
Oh yeah, makes it nice in the pit line.
Yeah.
Hop in and do some stuff. There's one more. I think we'll call 10 runs enough. I think I've done more than Raj so far, but he's going around. So.
Jeez. Well, sir, good luck on the rest of your trip.
Thanks, man.
Dude, what a blast. Those guys had a lot of fun. And if you can do more runs than Raj, you know you're doing something right. Oh, can I hear you?
Yeah, I muted myself.
Okay, I'm like, wait, what?
That's pretty wild for sure.
Yeah, 10 runs in a day. And so that obviously leads into how many passes did you make during the week? He said more than 50.
Holy cow.
Yeah, plus 1,300 miles worth of driving during the trip itself. And then, another 1,300 in getting to and from the event. So, man,
Yeah.
intense, dude.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty cool. So, big shout out to WAF Racing. Love those guys. They were always, they had Rovic there. They were working through carburetors and getting everybody dialed in throughout the week. It was really neat to see all that stuff go down.
Very cool.
And then,
right.
I meant to put this up here. That was the car he drove all week. I meant to
Yeah.
have it up as well. Yeah, super neat.
Yeah, pretty slick.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll jump into this and then we can talk about some Mahle Motorsports stuff. So, attention high performance enthusiasts and racers, meet the Mahle Motorsports Power Pack Kit, your ultimate solution for power packed performance. The Power Pack pistons are made from either 4032 aluminum alloy to allow for tighter cylinder to wall clearances and improved temperature stability, or the 2618 alloy to allow for increased detonation resistance. What sets Mahle apart? Its forged pistons, Grafal coating, and phosphate treatment for peak performance and durability. Elevate your ride with Mahle Motorsports, where performance meets precision. Visit MahleMotorsports.com for more details. And for our podcast listeners, Mahle is spelled Mahle.
Yes. Well, let's talk about copilots, dude.
Yeah. So co-pilots are kind of your ride or die, or it could be a complete stranger. So you get one side or the other, but these folks are what keep you going when things get tough. So what we did is we went through and grabbed some photos from different events of people with their co-pilots. So again, Mahle Motorsports, we've got the co-pilot spotlight. So we've had Hot Rod Drag Week, we've had 666. We need people to jump over there on the website and fill out that form and tell us some stories about your co-pilot. How'd they save the day? How'd they ruin the day? Give us a funny story. Send us some pictures. So again, that is on the website, Drag Drive Repeat, and then under the Mahle Motorsports co-pilot spotlight.
Yep, I'm dropping the link into the chat right now.
Yep. So here's
dragrepeat.com/copilot spotlight, if anybody's, for the folks that are listening.
Yep. So just a bunch of photos here. I can't remember everybody's names for sure. So
yeah,
I know that guy.
yeah. Can you imagine? Look how tall Jim is next to the S10. I know he's not directly beside it, but he climbs in and out of that thing every day.
Yeah, I feel bad for him. Tommy should have got an extended cab so he could put a seat all the way back for Jim.
Yeah, that would have been awfully nice of him. The boat folks, man, they were having a boatload of fun. We've talked about it before. This is a blast to see this thing through here. And then the gasser, dude,
the thumbs up. I love it when I can capture those moments when I'm getting a wave or a thumbs up, like when I go to edit, because a lot of times I don't catch that when I'm taking the photo because I'm so busy getting the photo. So when I catch these, when I'm editing them, they put a smile on my face for sure.
Yeah. Well, and it ought to, man. I'll let you drive through the photos there a little bit. You took most of these. This shot here, man, this is probably one of my favorite shots you took during Drag Week.
Yeah, this is I kind of call these my sniper photos. I'm not up close, so a lot of times you don't know I'm taking a photo, which are some of my favorite because it's real, it's in the moment. You're not posing. I'm somewhere with my zoom lens, sniping out some photos.
Yep, this one here, and of course, being Steve Eden and Pete Holmes, man, those dudes are rock stars in my eyes. I mean, that to have done so many and done it in the same car and done it with the same driver and co-pilot for so long, I think this made their 18th drag and drive or 19th drag and drive event to do together in that car. Like
Yeah.
that's
I-
the other side of it. Like just super cool stuff, man.
Yeah. Does anybody have more than that? I can't imagine they do.
With the same person, no, but there's some folks that have more event numbers than they do, but yeah, not with the same co-pilot, not in the same car, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Then you've got the Cryer family here in the Divco milk truck. I'm pretty sure if you zoom in, the co-pilot there is napping.
That's my jam. You can ask Danny Fatka if he's still watching. I will go to sleep in a heartbeat. Well, you've seen me asleep in the back seat of the car before.
Yeah, I got pictures during this trip.
Yeah.
The dudes in the IROC. I think this was a father son, if I remember right.
Yep. Yeah, we met them on day 0 in the tech line.
Yep. Tons of Drag Week stickers along the back window and along the trailer. This picture cracked me up. I don't know if you could see the face the
Yeah.
co-pilot's making over there, but this is a super cool car. I loved getting
Yeah.
photos of that. Again, just some
Uh,
more cruising
yes.
down the road with your co-pilot, man. And these are the moments here. I don't know that they get much better than that.
Yeah, I agree. I think co-pilots make a huge difference in your experience, either good or bad. The comment about the complete stranger, that was one from 666. There was a guy that was like, "Hey, can I ride along with somebody?" And through the power of the drag and drive community, he ended up with Jason Reich, who is in the quickest Chevrolet of 666 in that Turbo LS Colorado. It was pretty cool.
Nice. So I believe that is all of the photos that we had for the co-pilot spotlight again this week. So again, like we mentioned, the links in the chat. Jump over there on the website. Tell us some stories. Again, we like to spotlight your co-pilots. They can make or break events right alongside with you.
Yep. And I'll tell you, I've got another quick video here. This is of Dan Nissen. I caught him at Tulsa. I haven't touched up any of the audio on this. I'm going to touch up some of the audio on these after this. But these guys, him and Jeff Oppenheim, Jeff drove from Pennsylvania, Jeff and Dan drove from Pennsylvania to Chicago
Yep.
in the 40 Chevrolet, and then drove from Chicago to Springfield to start their trip. So really
And then
neat
they
deal. So
and then they finished all the way to Santa Monica, didn't they?
I think so.
I
I
believe
haven't
they
really
did.
followed much after that, but yeah, those guys they're animals, man. They just absolutely crazy
So
to
if you
see
think
this.
about that, you're all the way in Santa Monica now, and you got to get back to Pittsburgh still.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well go ahead and go to the Portofino and drive all the way back to Red Ball Garage and just do you a cannonball in a gasser 40 Chevrolet. That has anyone done that? What's the record on that in a gasser for the
Right.
cannonball backwards? So I'm gonna play this video real quick and then we'll move on.
Okay.
My name's Dan Nissen. I'm from Havre, Montana. Little town way north of Montana, 35 miles south of the Canadian border. I'm co-pilot this week for Jeff Oppenheim in his 1940 Pontiac Coupe that he has finished building into a gasser. Laid in a ravine south of my house for about 50 years when a friend of mine found it, and I guess the rest is history. We left Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in this car, drove to Chicago, and started Route 66. And to be in this car, driving through downtown Chicago with all the people, the pedestrians, the bicycles, driving through those buildings where you can't see the top of the roof, out the roof of the car and see the tops of the buildings was a little bit surreal. Driving in a car like this where everything there was fast-paced, hustle, bustle, and here we are in a buggy suspended car from the 1940s. We were definitely out of place. We stuck out like a sore thumb, but it was a lot of fun, and all the stops on this trip that we're making, it's almost surreal to be doing it in a car like this, just because it fits the Route 66 theme so well. With couple of idiots out in an old hot rod having fun, seeing the scenery, and I don't know. It's hard to translate it so people understand. But you just got to get out there and do it yourself and have some fun.
That I'm telling you, man, those guys had a blast.
Yeah.
They literally had the trip of a lifetime.
Yeah, and Aaron here saying I think Jeff got rear-ended on the trip too, right?
Yep, sadly. I mean, dude, and what really sucks is like hit regular cars, you jerks. Don't hit cool cars. You know what I mean? Like, dang, it sucks to have a car that's 80 years old get hit by some normal pedestrian car. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so, but it didn't damage it enough to where they couldn't compete and have fun and still do their drive and all that kind of stuff. They were looking for, I think, fenders and a trunk lid on their travels. They kept going, and those guys, man, they were helping so many people along the way. It was really fun. I come up. One of the videos I'll put out later is I pull up to them and they're helping Jeff with the purple colored El Camino with the 8-speed automatic in it, and hit one of the low spots on one of the bridges and took out the oil pan. And there was like 6 cars pull up and we're helping him get all that back together. So that's where the oil pan rescue kit came in. To
Yeah.
my mind was about that. So we're gonna debut that here pretty soon too.
Yeah.
Just figure out what size aluminum to send with it and how much JB Weld.
Right. All right. Well, it is that time again. We need to thank all of you guys that have been watching tonight. Again, man, we haven't been on in 2 weeks was our last show. So appreciate everybody jumping on here. I mean, you guys keep us going, like we said. Man, you've been 600 videos. I have 10,000 photos. Your comments, your likes, your shares, that's what keeps us motivated. And of course, again, we can't do that without all of our sponsors. They make everything that we do possible. So we want to thank Summit Racing Equipment, Mahle Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Car Change 3D, WAF Racing, Performabuilt Transmission, J-Wire Solutions, Howard's Cam, Sweet Patina, PowerTube TV, and Racing Junk. And the gentleman's agreement. We talk about it every week. You know what it is. We're going to continue doing what we do because we love what we do. That's why we do it. But in return, we ask for you guys to hit the share button, hit the like button, leave a comment, send it to your friends, invite them to the Race Car Friends group page. Let's grow that. Let's grow this entire community. So again, we can't verify that you're going to do that, but that's what the gentleman's agreement is. You got the PowerTube TV.
Nope, didn't put that one in there. But hey, listen, if you're not doing it, go over follow PowerTube. You can watch us there. I have some exclusive stuff that's coming on that as well. I'm giving them a video. Hopefully tomorrow I can finish it up. That's kind of a quick recap of the week and some fun things that happened. So you'll be able to see exclusive Drag Drive Repeat content, plus a lot of other content from other content creators that's out there. And then you can catch your boy right here on the Southeast Gassers. I'm the host of that TV show that they put out. So you can see me doing more stuff than just the drag and drive community. So it's kind of cool. But yeah,
Yep.
if you're not on PowerTube TV, I don't know what's wrong with it. It's a free app. You can get it on your smart TV, you can get it on your computer, on your phone, whatever. So get over there and do that for us. We would appreciate that, please.
Yep. And I'm sure we'll get to check them out again at PRI this year as well.
Oh yeah, the Saturday morning extravaganza that's going to be going on. We'll be running a live stream out of their booth, but also we're going to get to meet a ton of content creators that they work with, and we're going to be kind of doing some interviews and stuff. You and I'll be working through introducing new people on their platform and talking to folks and all that kind of stuff. So it'll be part of our PRI stuff with them. So I'm excited about that. All the details haven't been worked out, obviously, the way I'm just explaining it. But there's some stuff going on Saturday morning at the PRI, at the PowerTube PRI booth.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you this right here. You can't see it yet, but we're gonna display this here probably next week. This is the exclusive PRI sticker like we did last year. But I'm telling you, this year is way cooler. So, yeah, you can't see it. It looks like a white circle, but I can see the front of it.
I'm really excited about that sticker. One, not for now. But for 10 years from now, when people are showing those off and, oh, look, I got this one this year and I put this one on my wall. And, you know, is there going to be a secondary market for decals that weren't put up? Because, like, we only give those to 100 people a day.
Right.
That's very few people. And so, as
Right.
I'm walking around giving out the 666 decals, I'm like, this is pretty special because there's only 100 of these ever going to be made. So, after the event, people were messaging me, hey, how can I get one? I was like, sorry.
Yeah, you better have saved me one of those.
What? I hope you have one at home because
I
I need you
don't.
to give me one. Well,
The
dang,
666.
we may have to order 10 of them. Maybe that's what we do. I think that would get us through the folks that want them to. Maybe we do that. Okay. You talked me into it. Well, let's I didn't mean to go this long, but
Yeah.
it's kind of cool. An hour is perfect. Let's talk about the Howard's Cam community segment because this is kind of fun and will be a great way to end the show.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and jump on. I'll hit this video real quick and then we'll get into it.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Harris from the Monoxide Podcast. Real quick, Howard's Cams was founded as a racing cam manufacturer almost 80 years ago when Howard Johansson created Howard's Power and Racing Equipment in 1945. Howard's Cams has always used on-track experience to design the most powerful designs, and today they have an even greater group of experienced racers in circle track, drag racing, road race, mud bog, and marine. They use all this input plus the most advanced computer software to design the most competitive race-winning products. From pioneers in drag racing and oval track to cutting-edge marine development, Howard's Cams is at the forefront of the industry. So make sure to reach out to our friend Luke B for your next valve train upgrade.
Sweet.
Oh, yeah.
Love me. Love you, buddy.
All right.
Him at PRI.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about 666. You were there for, what was it, 4 days?
4 days of racing, 8 days total, I feel like. Man, it was awesome. Day 0, of course, has kind of turned into like this whole day thing. Of people get there early in the morning, they do tech, and then they do some testing and stuff like that. So I was there through day 4 of racing, day 6 of the event, I think, something like that. It was let's see, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, 6 days. So pretty crazy, man. 176 people started, but I really feel like there were like 50 sick ward people that were there. It was really cool. Then there was some super neat stuff that was there too. A lot of the videos coming out were really, I've got like 4 or 5 cars that I followed throughout the week that were just sick ward cars
Yeah.
having the trip. You know, they weren't making passes, but they were making the drives. They were having fun and taking pictures and all that kind of stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then obviously the difference is there's no classes, right? It's not like a traditional drag and drive. So it's like kind of
Yeah.
your all or nothing.
Right. So there was, what, 176 that started?
Mm-hmm.
So we've got the top 3 of the event. This is overall, correct?
Yep.
You're going to have to help me with the last name here. Jason.
Russo.
Okay. Jason Russo wins this one as well. He did win Death Week last year as well, and now he won 666. How cool is that?
Yeah.
Jason's
Wow,
average ET across 6 different tracks, 5.467, with a best ET of 5.365 at Ozark.
Yeah, he kind of put it to it. He was the man. I'm telling you. It was his to lose if he had chosen to. It was pretty cool to watch that car go down. You know, I've been at a few events with him, and man, that car just works. It just works. But it's 850 limited, so 535 is really as fast as he can go, or 536 or something like that.
Yeah. Awesome. So that was your number 1. Number 2, Rick Steinke in second with a 5.602 average with a best ET of 5.402, again at Ozark.
Yeah. Ozark had it on, man, they were on point. They had it figured out for sure.
Yeah, is this the honk if parts fall off?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what I thought. And then number 3, rounding out the top 3, was Lamar Swindle Jr. in third with a 5.670 average with a best ET of 5.326. He could have won if he had not turned in a 6.339 on day one.
Yeah, it was he got real close. Like if that number had been like a 5.9 at all, it would have worked. But he couldn't get that car to work on day one. I think they end up even like pulling the nitrous off to make a pass, trying to get it to go down. And so it did 6.339. That ain't enough to win it, man. That ain't enough
Yeah.
to win it.
Yep, pretty wild.
Yeah, quickest pass 5:32. I mean, he had it figured out for dang sure.
Was that the quickest pass of the event? Do you know then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, there was a lot of cars that I mean, a lot of meat and potatoes cars, I would say, anything from 7 to, high sevens to 11-second eighth mile stuff. I mean, like, I think people were really just enjoying the trip, to be honest with you. I think they were
Yeah.
just having fun. Uh, one thing that I think is going to be fun is this next bit here. You ready?
Yeah, so we just covered the top three, so why
Yeah.
don't you give us the bottom three?
My man Cameron Thorpe, who drives an 11.0 a 10-second Volvo wagon, LSA, LS swapped V8, awesome car, runs the 11.0 index, has won 11.0 index a lot at Rocky Mountain Race Week, shows up in this with like a
Yeah.
2-rotor NA setup. Man, this car top 3 for me for the entire trip. It sounded rowdy, but was not at all. He is the third from the bottom that finished. Now, there was a lot of guys that didn't finish. Third from the bottom. It's a Mazda RX-4 wagon with a naturally aspirated rotary, 12,042 average.
That is wild.
Dude, that is so slow. So slow. Um, Again, a lot of fun. And to see him driving it made it even cooler because like his car runs 11s in the quarter mile and this car runs 12s in the eighth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty wild for sure.
Yeah. Next to the bottom is Brad Brody in the 55 Chrysler 300. This car, I'm telling you, again, top 3 of my favorites because it just looked so cool. It really looked the part as they were cruising across the, anytime I would see them, people's in regular cars, they couldn't believe what they were looking at. It was like, like an old race car that was out and about. So 12,043 for them for their average. And uh,
Imagine, like, obviously I wasn't there, but imagine like the shots you can get of that car on
oh,
Route 66. Like,
dude,
man, that's so cool.
mm, it had to be one of the most photographed cars out there. It had to be. And then you can see Alex Brody's car behind it there, a super patinaed Mopar of some kind, Charger, Challenger. I don't know those cars, probably Challenger. Um, it was same way. People just taking pictures all the time. I mean, it really was one of the coolest things. And this is obviously at Gearhead Curios. Big shout out to Aaron and the team over there. They had that store looking amazing. And it was very easy to pull in and get your photos and all that kind of stuff. And then this
I
is
don't I don't think anybody would guess this one.
yeah, no, not at all. But I want to give one quick note while we're talking about Gearhead Curios. You see the giant in the back?
Yep.
That's going to be on the T-shirt for the circuit 2025. So
Oh boy. Oh
thought I
boy.
would drop that hint, kind of hidden in here in the middle.
I like
Super
that.
cool place. Yep. And then nobody even knows whose car this is and it's going to blow their mind. This is a Camaro driver that has probably never been on this end of any list that he's ever been a part of, but the slowest car to finish the week of 666 is Mr. Tom McGilton
That is wild.
in a 72 Camaro. I don't know how I saw Tom a few times, but I thought he was riding with somebody or something. I would have in 1 second went over and talked to him if I had seen him driving this car. Dude, 14.249 average in
In
that.
the eighth. Yes.
Like, what? That dude hadn't
Yeah.
run 14s in the quarter in years.
Yeah. And again, I think it goes back to This event was a laid back, fun event.
Oh yeah.
This car fits Route 66.
Yeah.
The white Camaro, very fast car, but it
Yeah.
doesn't really fit the theme of Route 66. So again,
Yeah.
I love that people brought out their old cars, they drove, they had fun, they competed and completed.
Yeah.
It's super cool.
Yeah. It was one of my, I was like, wait, what happened? Whose name is that? Surely that's not the Tom McGilton. Yep, sure enough.
Yeah.
So pretty cool to be, he was the slowest car to finish 666. Pretty wild.
Yeah,
Pretty
Aaron
wild.
Roberts here saying Tom's 72 Camaro is beautiful.
It was really a super cool car. It looked great. I'm sad I didn't focus more on it and the story behind it because, my plan now, I'm going to message Audrey and see, what's the deal? How long has he owned it? What's the story? What's the power plant? I mean, is it a V6 car? Like, dude, 14's in the 8th. That's slow as hell, man. So it's
Yeah.
gonna be kind of fun. That's gonna be interesting learn.
And it looks like it's on hard tire.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah, you
Yep.
don't need a slick on that thing. It will probably wouldn't spin those.
Right.
Yep. Well, let's talk about some fun stuff here. I'm gonna pull this down, and I've got a few videos to put up. One thing that is obviously kind of the biggest deal is, you know, Rich Guido being the man that he is. He's not scared to tear apart a manual transmission in the pits. So in this video, I caught up with him, and he's kind of he's telling us what's happening to his transmission that he's rebuilding at Amarillo. Mr. Rich Guido, tell us, what are you doing?
Well, you see this part over here? See this here?
778, that is his
Well, that
second
was all secondary.
778.
So this is where the throat bearing is supposed to ride.
Bailey makes the turn again.
Only it's supposed to be a little longer than that.
Oh no, that's no good.
So when I make the pass, I could hear some grinding, go to push the clutch in. It's making funny noises. I knew something was wrong. I pushed the clutch in again, and it worked.
Lap number
I'm like,
13, I
that
think,
shouldn't
or
do that.
14.
So we have some discs. It chewed up my clutch disc really bad.
Oh man.
And more importantly, it's a 29 spline, and they're harder to get. So we don't have any spare 29 splines. In fact, I might have called my clutch guy a couple of days ago and go, hey, you got any of those just in case I need one? But we need a collar, and we don't have a collar either. But we got 2 days of driving now, so we should be able to get one overnighted if I
That
can
is what Bailey is trying to
to
be.
the hotel in 2 days.
But you got to at least get it running, like to where you can drive it.
Wow. So my brother's grabbing a pilot bearing
Mexico
somewhere.
built Ram Charger with the earned
Input
racing
shaft on that one, so
swap
I
of
can use
the
that disc. So I can get
Camaro again right
so
side.
I can
Just
move
get
again.
driving, yeah. Wow. Well, good luck, sir.
All right, thank you.
Dude, I'm telling you, that guy's not scared to tear something apart in the pits.
Not at all.
Not at all.
I'd have been terrified.
Yeah, and so big shout out to Kevin Lowry, who actually let him borrow input shaft or whatever. I don't know. He had some part that had splines on it that he was letting Rich borrow from his T56 setup that he had spare parts with him as well. So super cool there. Well, let's talk about the last few things here. Robert Voss, again, we talked about him earlier. He's going to be our camp counselor for the circuit 2025. The dude likes to party. Let's just say he likes to high mile an hour wheel speed burnouts and folks hanging out the window. So let's see this burnout at Deechworks as one of the route stops of 666. I love it.
Was that a dude hanging out the passenger window?
Yep. Yeah, your co-pilots, man. That's what they're supposed to do. Just get people riled up, and that's what they did. So they had a, yeah, they were having a blast. It's got like a reflection on or something.
That's a green cannon. I have a green screen, so
Yeah.
we'll go with that one. Get that
There you
man a
go.
garage beer.
Right. They were having a blast, and that was after having been up all night rebuilding the Power Glide in the Mocan parking lot or in some other dude's garage. and had no knowledge of rebuilding a transmission, but did it. Okay. So then right after that, they broke all kinds of valve train stuff and were on the side of the road for another 18 hours, or 14 hours trying to get it fixed. Like it was pretty intense trip for them, but hey, they still let it hang out. And one more burnout for you guys tonight. This is Josh Reich in the Colorado. This is your I think he's the fourth fastest of 666. And we talked about strangers, co-pilot earlier. This is the gentleman that let somebody that he didn't know ride as co-pilot with him and laid out a big burnout like this one. Yeah, dude. Yeah,
Pretty awesome.
that's the kind of burnouts I want to do, man. That's what I want out of the old truck. So, guys, man, I don't know. That's my jam right there. Street burnouts in the front of Detroit. That was a blast. They were a great host, man. We had a great time hanging out with them there and all the fun stuff.
Heck
So,
yeah.
does that wrap up our show?
I think that wraps up the show for tonight.
Well, awesome. Well, if you'll send us out, man, we'll kick this thing off and we'll see you guys Saturday.
Yeah, let's do it. Again, we say it all the time, but you guys truly keep us going. When Mike's editing 600 videos, I'm editing 10,000 pictures. I just saw, and I want to give a shout out to Grabiak, just commented on one of the photos I dropped before the show, saying that might be the coolest picture that he's seen. Again, that's the kind of stuff that keeps me going and wants me to take more pictures and edit more pictures, because your guys' feedback, your positive comments really keeps me going, and that's what keeps us going. So again, thank you all of our race car friends. And again, we wouldn't be able to attend these events and do all of this stuff if it wasn't for our sponsors. So again, thank you, Summit Racing Equipment, Mahle Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Car Chains 3D, WAF Racing, Performabuilt Transmission, J-Wire Solutions, Howard's Cam, Sweet Patina, Power Tube TV, and Racing Junk. Guys, again, Saturday morning news show. We will see you guys on the next episode.
Yep. See you guys.